what am I going to do after I mail it, right?
Correct.
A lot of people. And we're going to show you. We're going to show you a couple things. We're going to do some fun stuff today. This is for the new or the experts here. This is going to help everybody.
The whole week I was looking out for this training.
Good. BJ Ocampo bought it from one person and then bought it from you too just to get this.
I think for, what was it, $19 to get this training, I think you get a lot of value.
Yeah. We're going to talk a little bit about the letter too. We talked about that in the first training that came with the product, but we'll talk a little bit about the letter because I know some of the stuff in there, scares people because it's super high marketing. They're like, how are you going to back this up, and how are you doing this, and how are you doing that? We talked about it in the first webinar. We're going to talk about it again, but we'll talk about it tonight too a little bit. It's marketing, right? So to promise somebody you're going to show them a way to make a ton of money or give them $1,000, I mean, you are showing them a way to make money, depending on, I mean, I doubt you're selling anything that wouldn't, right? Search will show them, eventually make them a lot of money. Getting their reputation better is going to make them a lot of money. Getting them their, putting them on an SMS program will make them a lot of money. Everything's going to show them how to make money. So don't think that somebody's going to be like, well, that ain't going to make me money, and give me $1,000. Well, I'm going to sue you. That ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen, and that'll never happen. And trust me, I've used these letters a lot, and I've never had one person say that. I'm going to tell you exactly how people are going to react. Man, this is cool, man. Where in the heck did you come up with this? And you got to say, listen, you like the way I just marketed to you? You'll love the way I'll work for you. And we'll go to town. What we're going to do today is we're going to go over this, what you're selling. I'm going to role play it and sell it for you. And hopefully that's going to give.
So what we are going to do is we're going to, so if you grabbed my bonus, one of the bonus was to know which niches works. So I'm dropping them in the chat box, and you can vote on one of those niches. And what we were going to do is Sid is going to invite you to do the role play. So first we're going to see where you vote on, and we pick the 3 most voted niche, and then Sid is going to role play with your guys. Okay, so have your headset on because you might get picked out.
You could Jack, you can do that with a poll, but I'll show you how to set that up next time.
Yeah, I know. I know you can, but yeah. I'm more the traditional, I think.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I was the same way. Yep. Okay. Well, let's respect your time and let's get started, right? So you're about to mail the Savage Siphon, and you've got the letters, or maybe you don't. Maybe you've came up with your own letters, and you're like, man, what am I going to do now, right? So you got to pick your niche. You got to decide. By the way, if there's any misspellings in here, go ahead and forgive me. Now I'm not the smartest guy in the world. Okay. What am I going to do now, right? So you got to pick your niche. You got to decide what you're going after. Some of you might already have a great niche. Some of you might already have some attorneys, or you might be doing lead gen for attorneys, or maybe you're doing, reputation for restaurants or contractors, right? Maybe you got something, I don't know, whatever you're doing. So you got to pick your niche. You're gonna take your 40 letters. You're gonna pick out 40 people within your niche, and you're gonna start a campaign. That's what we recommend, right? And then out of that 40 people that you go after, ultimately you want to come out at the end with about 4 to 6 deals, maybe. Okay, 2 at minimum, but you want to go through and try and pick up more clients. So figure out what you're going after. You might already have your niche picked out. How many people already have their niche picked out? Real estate agent, that's good. Careful, they're cheap. But what else? What other niches? Everybody put in here what niche you got. Car dealer, I like it. Restaurant. Put in what niche you've picked out real quick. We're gonna be proactive tonight. Roofing. Rob, I got a way to show you to make easy money. Nightclubs, okay? Those guys never pay, by the way. LASIK eye surgeons, good job. Roofing, good, Jim. I know some people made some great money with LASIK people. In fact, even got LASIK out of it. Ophthalmologist, okay. Medical. Anti-aging clinics, good job, okay. All right, so funeral homes, there's business there. I would recommend picking, one, right? And when you start your campaign, you want to go after one total niche, right? And let's see what it says. No, roofers pay. No, in fact, well, I'll show you something cool about roofers. That's gonna be, you'll figure it. I'll show you something really cool tonight for free, just for buying Jack's product. I'll show you something with roofers that is gangbusters easy. No fulfillment. It's done for you. And for me, because you need to spend 95% of your time prospecting anyway, if you're trying to get a business, effective, done for you is awesome. So once you send out these letters, and I assume most of you probably got the upsell, it converted really high. If you didn't, you can send out your own letter. It needs to say something like with the bank bag, hey, how would you like to fill these bags up? Get more of these bags to, fill up every month. Call me, Sid. You don't want to tell them too much, right? You don't want to lay it out there to where they can read everything. You don't want to give them all the information to where they're not going to call you, right? It's not like they're going to overanalyze it and see it and then actually, get so much information that they're like, well, I'm going to call and just verify that all this information is correct. You want them to have some questions, right? You want them to actually call you. So when they do, understand that their first call, your first contact, all right, is a fact-finding mission. Don't pressure yourself and think that it's a sales appointment. It's not. You're actually selling you're selling the appointment, not the service, right? Don't try and start saying, well, I do lead gen reputation management search, and start talking with all these technical terms that it's just going to blank people out, right? They're not even going to understand what you're doing. Their face is just going to glaze over, right? And you start using, these, acronyms or anything that, they probably wouldn't understand anyway, right? You want to keep it very, very simple. You want to say something like this. Hey, my name's Sid Michael from Spike Promotions. If you like the way that I just marketed to you, you're going to love the way that I market for you. What I have is easier to show you than to tell you. When can we meet? This afternoon or tomorrow? What do you like in your coffee? Now, when you say something like that, what do you like in your coffee? Right? The guy's like, oh, I like cream. Okay, great. I'll be there at 9. You're not, that's soft selling, right? That's psychological, right? You're not telling them, they're not saying, hey, I want an appointment. They're not saying, yeah, come see me. They're saying what they like in their coffee, which in return is kind of saying, yeah, come see me, right? So that's something simple that you would, that you could respond and actually sell the appointment. Now, not all of you are going to be able to go face-to-face, right? Now, I recommend at any given time, if possible, you're always going to be more effective in face-to-face sales, right? Belly-to-belly sales, because you're able to build more rapport. You're able to see, who the person is. Now, if you're not going to go see them person, are they 18 states away, or maybe you live in Curacao and you're selling in the States, or, whatever your situation is, then you still want to set it up the same way. You want to say, hey, my name's Sid Michael. I'm with Spike Promotions. If you like the way I marketed for you, you're going to love the way that I'll market it to you. You're going to love the way I market for you. Let me get a quick snapshot of your business so I can better serve you. You know, how many roofs a month are you doing? Great. You know, what kind of revenue do you can you normally generate out of a roof, right? And kind of get an understanding of the niche, so you know what the product, you know what you're worth if you bring them 3 more sales of whatever it is they're selling, right? And what does an average LASIK eye surgery cost, right? And then that way you know exactly what you're doing. Well, great. I tell you what, I want to put together a great strategy session for you. It's a normally $4.99 consulting fee. I'm going to waive that for you if we can meet tomorrow. Are you familiar with GoToMeeting? However you're going to contact them, with a webinar or with, whatnot, and show them what you do. Okay, I recommend GoToMeeting or GoToWebinar. It's a great way to get people together. Or if you got, Skype where you can, however you're going to do it, that's a whole nother conversation. I don't want to get all into that, but, then you get them online that way, and then you show them their process. But the reason why you want to do a fact-finding mission in the beginning, right, is so you have ammunition and to answer and to do exactly what to build your value, which takes me to this slide right here. Anytime you build value over price equals sale, right? And your main mission when speaking to them is they have to take ownership of what the problem is. If these people are left field and like, man, I don't care about my reputation, I sell more roofs than anybody in Gwinnett, right? Then you're not going to sell the guy reputation because he's not taking ownership. He doesn't see value of it, right? Or that's not my fault, that lady was crazy, right? Whatever. You got to make sure they take value or take ownership so you're able to build value over price. Remember that, okay? Let me go through these questions real quick, see if I got anything I need to answer before we move on, because we're about to get exciting. Will there be a replay of this webinar in the members area? Jack, are you recording this?
Yes.
Okay. There will always be replays. I know generally for us, unless something epically goes wrong with GoToWebinar or something, we replay everything because, Jack can use this in the future, or we want you to be able to always go back and see it. And, we want you to, believe it or not, we don't want you to learn something that we're teaching you and, we make $17, right? We don't want to take $17 and run away. We want you to actually implement it and it to work for you. We're genuinely giving you a tactic or a strategy that has worked for us, and we're sharing it to the world, right? And trust me, I had people that begged me not to even tell people how we were doing this. But, we chose to do it. That's part of my business is products. And, and that's what I do. Anyway, so let's stay focused here. All right, so you want to build value over price equals sell. Even in friendships, relationships, or whatever, I've say this all the time in a lot of webinars. Even your wife, right? Like the value of your wife is over the price. You got to sell. You're going to marry her. The value of your girlfriend is more than the price. You got to sell. You're going to marry her. Same with friends or business acquaintances or anybody, right? So, anyways, that's important, and that's the way you're going to get yourself to actually push through. Okay, so let's do some role play because I think that's the meat and potatoes of this whole thing that we're doing tonight. I want anybody right now. Let's pick 3 niches. I saw roofing a bunch of times, and I saw
dentist. I think.
A dentist. Okay.
So 2 times dentist.
Let's see what else we got. Put in your niche you want to hear us talk about, and we'll give you some good stuff. Right now, put in your niche that you want to hear. Chiro, okay. Dentist, chiro, attorney. Attorneys are obviously pretty good. Okay.
Only pick one, okay? You can only pick one.
Right,
yeah. Restaurants, 2 times. I'm not sure if restaurant is a good niche for this mailing because the average ticket price is not that high. You
that's going to make you some loot. Generally, restaurants do. I always want to trade you services instead. I got free bar tabs everywhere with for hooking up SMS for a couple people,
So let's first step back, okay? If half of you guys have selected a niche, probably other half are not sure. So how should you select a niche? And I haven't discussed it with Sid, but it is my view. Is one, there needs to be enough meat on the table. So if they sell flowers or whatever, the average sale price is low. So you probably don't get a lot of share of that.
Correct.
Second is you need to love that niche. At least you need to like that niche, something that you are connected to with one way or another. So you must like to read about it, speak about it, so you eventually you speak their language, So if you have a certain education, like say medical, mechanical, you might like roofing or AC repair. But if you have a medical background, you might like more dentist. So, or maybe your wife has a certain profession and you learn about it and you liked it, so you're going after that niche. So, and then I would also, yeah.
Go ahead. I was just going to point out a way to kind of calculate, an easy way to calculate it.
Okay.
If you worked with a florist, right, and you sold 10 more, or even a restaurant, okay, let's say you got a restaurant noticed and you increased their business by 10 or 20 more customers, right? If you increased them, and let's say you're working for Lenny's sub shop, right, and you increase them 20 more subs, right, which is nice. You got them 20 more new customers out there, right? No matter whatever product or whatever you're doing. So you just brought them, average sit person is $10. This is what I'm talking about when I say fact find. $10, you brought them an additional $200. How much of that $200 do you think he'll pay you? 50% of it? So you made you're worth $100 to him. Take the same thing into LASIK. LASIKs are average of $1,250. He's doing, 60 LASIKs a month, and you increase him 10%. Right? So now you've increased him $1,250, which is, $7,500. Out of $7,500, if you asked for $2,500 a month, just a third of what you're bringing to the table, that's a better client. Same thing with car dealers. The reason people always say, one, I spent a lot of time in car dealers, but what I like about car dealers personally is you go to any major metro, how many attorneys are within 10 miles of you in a circle? Hundreds. How many doctors? Hundreds. How many LASIK people? Hundreds. How many restaurants? Thousands. How many anything, right? Car dealers, even in major metro areas, have to have 10-mile PMAs, primary marketing areas. So when you look at a Ford store, there's only going to be a Ford store every 10 miles. So even in a major market like Atlanta, there's only 12 Ford stores. So when you're practicing search or if you're trying to promote a Ford store, you don't have that much competition around you as you would an attorney, right? And on national average, PVR is close to $2,000 a car, right, between new and used. So these guys, you move their business 10%, and they're selling 300 cars a month. You move them 30 cars, you're making them extra $60,000 a month. Now, would anybody put their money in a bank that would make them 900% return on investment? Would anybody want to invest their money there? Of course, right? So you invest $6,000 with me, I'm going to show you an additional 10% in return in your car business, in car sales, and it's going to be worth somewhere around $60,000 for you. My fees for my service are $6,000 a month recurring, and I don't charge a setup. I don't charge I don't do a contract. I'm like a sales guy. If I don't sell you cars, fire me. But I'm ready to go to work for you.
So Sid, I don't know. I have always imagined that a car dealer are so big, and I'm small compared to them. Why they don't have already this in place, and why do they need me?
For a car dealer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, car dealers are a little bit first off, they're very A-type personalities, right? And they're just stuck behind the 8 ball in a lot of things. Their tactics and their sales tactics are different. Very hard-working people, though, but their sales tactics are different, and they don't tend to, they kind of stay traditional, just TV, radio, direct mail, print, right? They're not really getting into digital right now. Digital is kind of the new hot thing. Well, the problem is in the last 5 years, it went from, 20% actually research the car online to now they're showing numbers as high as 91% of the people that walk through the door have either a super loud, Jack, just to tell you. It's like 91% of the people have either researched the car online or the dealership online before walking in the door. So you can't tell me, your poor reputation is not being recognized by that 91% before they walk in the door. And then that's when you go in and you make them take ownership, right? And you build value in your product. So let's just say reputation management, automotive dealership. Is that fair for everybody? You say, out of the 200 cars last month you sold, be honest, 91% of those people that walked through the door. If somebody sold 200 cars last month, how many customers did they have come in the dealership? Anybody know that math real quick? At any place.
Is that 1 out of 5 or so? So
right.
1,000 people?
1 out of 5, so 1,000 customers came through the front door or called, right? They had 1,000 opportunities to sell cars. So knowing that 910 of them saw that you suck online, if you look like a bandit online, right?
I think people tend more to leave a negative review than a positive review. So, it's not always the car dealer mistake that they have a bad reputation.
Absolutely, 100%. And it's not that, but we can get more into reputation, on other calls, but that's why you get them while they're hot, while they're buying the car when they're the most emotionally high person they've ever been, and say, is there anything else I can do to make you love me any more today? No, you've been great, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know how you can really help me out is to go on Google and leave this reputation. Leave me a notice like that. My boss notices them. I get bonused every month for them, or, I get recognized for them. If you can go on Google right now and leave me a good review, it would be so greatly appreciated. I would appreciate it. And that's how you got to control the reputation, because when they get home, they get busy. They got kids. They got to go to karate practice. They got to go to dance recitals. They forget to say anything about you. But I tell you what, you piss them off, they'll remember to go back and leave that review. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's all, everything just takes proactive. You got to just be proactive about it, right? It's people that want to ignore a problem and think that the IRS is going to go away, right? They're going to be there. You got to take care of it. So just take care of your business. You know what I mean? So somebody was saying, real quick, I just wanted to point this out. Sid, this is all great. He said, Sid, you talk about all this great delivery to the car dealership, like 10% increase in their sales. But how do you guarantee yourself you actually can deliver the results you claim if you're starting out like me? Okay. Nancy, good question, and that's fair. When I say 10%, Nancy, do you have your microphone where you can go online right now? Could we go live so I can just talk to you one-on-one here? And I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to help you out right now. If you're brand new, I'm going to help you out. I'm not going to embarrass you.
So,
right, Nancy, you grab your mic. We're going to go live, and I'll show you exactly how to do it.
So, guys, have your headset on, because this will be an interactive webinar on Internet of Training. We want you to feel trained after this training.
Hey, also, if anybody's in the Florida, Orlando area, Jack and I both, I'm flying out tomorrow at 3, Jack. When are you going to head over there?
I'm around 10 o'clock in the morning, probably.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, let me unmute you, Nancy. Hold on a second. We're going to all be in Orlando, so come out and meet us. I'll buy you a beer. Let's see. All right, Nancy, here we go. Hello, hello.
Yeah, hi, can you hear me?
Hey, Nancy. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can hear me? Cool.
Yes, ma'am. I like to do it like Step Brothers. Test, 1 2 1 2, test, test.
Okay.
Where you calling from, Nancy?
I'm calling from Toronto, Canada.
Toronto. It's a good area. I've got a lot of people up in that area. That's nice. Okay. And have you chosen any sort of services that you're focusing on to delivering?
You know what? That's where I'm a little bit stuck.
Okay.
My background is I'm a therapist. I specialize in chronic pain and sports injury. However, most therapists are broke.
Right.
That's the sad part of it all.
Yeah.
But as far as another, let's say like a dealership, let's say if I want to do a dealership or something, I'm new to this game and I don't know much about dealerships. So when you say, I can give you 10% increase and, you sound slick and all of this stuff, what goes in the back of my mind is I can sell them. But what goes in the back of my mind, oh my God, now I got to deliver. How do I go about delivering all this, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's my thing.
yeah, no, I understand. And you have to pick, and I'm going to show you where I come up with a 10% number. And I'm just using that as a general round number. Actually, you get your client to say the 10% number. Sometimes it might say more. But you have to figure something that you're going to offer, whether it's, direct mail or, search. I don't know if you want to even start getting in the SEO search game, if you're new to this. You got to find something you can outsource to somebody. Maybe you can outsource some social.
Yeah, what I do is mobile websites and mobile apps and SMS text messaging. So that's my niche. That's what the services I'm selling right now.
Okay, so you're thinking mobile apps and a mobile website.
Yeah, and SMS text messaging.
Okay. And you like SMS also?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And do you have like some you being a therapist, do you have some sort of niche that you're wanting to go after?
I had first thought about massage therapists because they do need the marketing, but most of them don't have the budget. So I'm dealing with, it's not a high return client that you can go after this business model that you're presenting, where, you can charge $200-300 a month or more, $1,000 for your service. So I put that aside. Also, when I think of dentists and chiropractors, I know how busy they are and even how hard it is to get a hold of them just to book an appointment. So to get your teeth cleaned. So
Well, that problem is over because now you've got the Savage Siphon. You're going to have them guys calling you.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, don't. People are only as busy as their priorities, right? So if they're not looking to increase their business, right, they're not going to listen to you. Just like you, if you weren't interested in getting more clients, you wouldn't have been on this call today, right? But you are. But you are ready, and so, it's kind of like the cycle of life almost, You're ready to learn how to get more clients, so everything that we're talking about is of interest to you. If it wasn't of interest to you, that's okay. I'm still your friend, but let's find people that are interested. I'm not here to bother you or to, interrupt your day. I'm here to, what I've got, is something that you want to hear. So, we've got these SMS programs that are, rocking it, and that's what I do. So, if you want to try and get more clients, let's sit down and talk. But if you're not at the point in your business where you want more clients, you tell a dentist or whoever you're going after this, then I'll follow up with you in 6 months or something, and we'll, maybe if things change, then we'll do it.
So my question is, in the health profession, at least here in Canada, Toronto, right, everything is gone through insurance or through healthcare or something like that, or part of OHIP. So with dentists or even chiropractors, where people pay and they actually pay through insurance, and we're not allowed to do discounting or couponing and things like that. What kind of service would you offer? Like if you offer text messaging, SMS, or you know, like I understand a mobile app to make things better for them and in a mobile website, but outside of that, like what kind of campaigns would you?
All right, so that's not my niche, but this is the angle that I would go to immediately, right? I would
Okay.
say, you know, Nancy, I know I see all these people in the waiting room. That's nice, but how much money does it cost you every month for people that don't show up?
Okay.
You know, how much does that cost you? I mean, I know you probably charge a cancellation fee or whatever, but wouldn't you rather them show up and actually go through the whole service? I mean, what's your average appointment that never shows up?
Oh, okay.
What is it? Just role play with me for a second and just pretend.
Oh, I would say about 12 a month.
Okay, so you're missing 12 different clients, and the average person that comes in that gets a fill-in or something, what's the average spend between 150, 200? How much?
I would say about 180.
Okay, so let's say 180. So you're missing $1,800 a month. Did you know that 6% of the people, if you send them an email, only 6% of them will open it, yet 97% of them will open a text message?
Interesting.
So we can put an appointment reminder service via text for you, and start getting those 12 people in, so you don't have these lost appointments. Because let's face it, the reason why people miss appointments is because they get busy and they forget. It's not because they set an appointment and decided they didn't like it, right?
Right.
If I could get you those 12, you know, 12 or 15 appointments that you're missing each month, if I could save you that, you know, $1,800 to $2,500 worth of revenue you're missing, you know, would it be worth $675 or $800 for you to get, you know, 3 times that amount back?
Sure.
Well, I use a system called MobiBizBox, and it has appointment reminder service. And let me set you up on that so we can start reminding your appointments and get you a better appointment show rate.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. So,
So that's one angle that you could use.
okay, so I'm still role-playing here. So
That's
does
good.
that mean I have to run it myself, or, like, do I do it? How does this work? I don't have time to run things.
Well, I can show, and I'll train when you're, you know, Brenda up front or whatever. I can show you exactly how to work it and use it, and we can set you up to where you can go into the software yourself, and it's very, very easy. Trust me, I'm not going to give you something and then run away and hope you never find it. I'm going to show you how to do it. So I've got 2 different systems, one where I do it for you, or 2, I can train somebody how to do it here. You know, it just all depends. Now, the one where I do it for you obviously costs a little bit more money because it takes a lot of time, but it's real simple, Nancy. Don't get intimidated by it, because it's not something hard to figure out. It's something I can show you really easy and quick.
Oh, okay. So what is the prices for the both options?
If I do it for you, I would do it for $1,295. If you do it for yourself, it's $795.
Okay, so does the $795 cover the software, like the service, the platform?
Yes.
Okay, I see. So is that monthly or a one-time?
Monthly.
Okay.
And you know, and then you can sometimes, if you really got somebody that's coming towards you, you start, if they're like, whoa, $795 is a lot of money. Go, Nancy, I'm not asking you for $795. I'm asking you for $8,200. If you're going to come in and try this for a month, this ain't what you're looking for. I need you to give me a 12-month trial at this, and you're going to see how it's effective, and you're going to implement it in your business and start going with it. So once you start hearing $8,200, then $795 doesn't sound like so much money. Plus, you're kind of getting their mindset to go long term with you.
Oh, really? So when you say 8,500, people don't go, whoa, that's too much, and then finish the conversation right there?
No, you get their thinking up. You get their thinking up, and you let them know, listen, if you're going to try this, I'm going to go ahead and tell you to save your $795. This is not something that you're going to taste. This is something that you implement in your business, and we're going to recover that, you know, $1,800 you're missing every month of those people not showing up.
So the 8,500 is a long-term, over a year period? Is that what you're saying?
8,500 would be what it would be if they were, you know, 12 months.
I got you.
So you start pricing them at, like, you start pricing them at 6 months, you know, whatever. You just give them a bigger block whenever they start. If $795 sounds like a lot of money to them, are they trying to push back on you that? Say, listen, I'm not asking you for $795. I'm asking you for $8,500. This is something that's a 12-month commitment. This is something that you want to invest into your business. Never say price, never say cost. Always say invest, because it is. It's investing into their business. Right?
Okay. Yeah, that's
but
a good one.
Nancy, so you need to really think about what niche you want to go after. And I'm biased, I like car dealers. That's what I like. And I like roofers, to be honest.
Well, I like the idea of the car dealers, too. And I like the idea of the roofers because they do pay, right? So far I've been dealing with whole people that don't really have the money to pay. And I want to switch to a different niche where I know that they can afford it. So my question to you as a newbie that wants to move to a higher-end niche, what would be my approach or my criteria for going after this? Like, I don't mind learning something. I just want to know that they'll pay at the end of the day,
Yeah, and you want to go after a niche that's big enough that they're going to give you some value, and then you can show them some value too. So you asked about how do I know that I'm going to do the 10%? I don't.
Yeah.
So I'm going to role play with you real quick. Let's say reputation management, okay? And I'm asking you, 91% of the people see your dealership and online, and you're selling 200 cars a month. Nancy, how many people do you think saw your poor reputation and said, "Wow, I think I might just go down the street"? I mean, you know that it actually deterred some people from doing business. How many people do you think were deterred from that? And they're going to say a number, right? So say a number.
Oh, I don't know, 10, 20?
Okay. So that's about 10%. Let's be even more humble than that, Nancy. Let's say you didn't really lose 10%. Let's just say you lost 5%. That way, and let's see what you actually lost. 5% is 10 cars a month on your 200 cars. So you said you're running about $2,000 a copy. You're losing $20,000 a month. Nancy, what's it worth to you to recover that $20,000 a month? What would be a good investment for you to get that back?
$2,000.
$20,000. Would you pay $2,000?
Yeah, I would do.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I agree with you. It is worth about $2,000 a month, and I've got programs that I can do for you that we can get.
A month? Did you say a month? Did you say a month? I thought this was a one-time deal.
Well, if it was a one-time deal, then you would be losing $240,000 a year. So would it be worth 10% of that?
200 for the Yeah. I guess you could say that. Times are tough,
Yeah. No, I'm with you. You can push back. You can tell me you hate me. All I'm trying to point out is you want them to take ownership of that. All right.
Okay.
So,
okay.
All right, Nancy. Hey, I appreciate you. Thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, thank you so much for the tips. That's great. So the last question is so as me picking a niche, so even though I'm a newbie, I can still go after car dealers and roofers, right? As long as I learn some of their lingo or what they're after.
I would make sure that I would make sure, and I'm not here to sell my stuff, but there's courses out there on automotive. I would make sure that you're highly skilled, trained, and educated before you walk into a car dealership.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. What about roofer?
I think roofing is a lot easier to figure out, and any sort of lead gen type product for roofing is very valuable. And the cool thing, and I don't know if it's the same in Canada as here, but here these roofers go in and show wind damage or show anything wrong with the roof, and the insurance covers it. So all leads are good leads because they have. It's not like there's somebody that's going to be cheap or can't afford it because their insurance is actually paying for it.
Oh, I see. Okay. That's something to investigate. That's a good idea. Thank you.
All right. Okay, Nancy. Thank you so much. Stay warm up there.
Oh, it is warm out here. 25 degrees.
Oh, it's nice then. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Okay.
So that was great, Sid. So I think we want to do a roofing role play, correct, Sid? It's coming up now 3 times.
Yeah, let's do a roofing role play if anybody wants to.
So I saw a couple of roofers niches. So guys, take in a yes if you want to role play with Sid. And Sid is picking one of you guys.
Greg, there's a thing called Marketing Mayhem with JV Zoo that Jack and I are going to be in Orlando for the weekend, or starting tomorrow. It's just a great place to network and meet other marketers and share ideas. And
so who wants to do the next role play? Not all the guys at the same time, please.
Who's had the worst day and can absolutely just be a jerk to me? Yeah. All right. Nobody? All right. Well,
you know, let me explain this, okay? I think about 2 or 3 months ago, I did my first webinar for how many people? I think about 200. And I didn't know anything about it, about the controls. So sometimes you just have to jump in the ocean and get used to it. And how often you do, how better you get. Okay? Sid is much more experienced in webinars than I do, and I learn every day. But because I do it, I will learn too. So if you want to get trained with a roofer or speaking with a client, you need to get trained, and this is your opportunity. And I see Marcus, he wants to do the role play. So Marcus, do you have a headset on? Ken wants to do it.
Okay, good. All right, let's hold on. We'll make him.
So make sure you have your headset on, and Sid is going to select you.
Marcus. Oh.
Hey Sid, how are you?
Doing good, man.
Is that too loud?
Yeah, you're in a busy area.
I'm my daughter's cheerleading practice, so I'm actually sitting here on the webinar on my laptop.
I got you. Okay. Well, we can hear you, so it's not killing me. Where are you from, Marcus?
Just outside of Chicago.
Chicago. One of my favorite cities, man. Great food. What's your service and what's your niche that you've kind of focused on?
Well, we do I'm a full service boutique, so we do mobile sites, we do reputation, we do SEO, we do lead gen sites. Really, it's customized for whatever the client needs, but you know, since you guys are doing reputation, let's just roll with reputation.
Okay. Marcus, man, it's so loud there, man. It's kind of tough. So
Hold on,
I appreciate you jumping on, but it's too loud. We're gonna we'll grab somebody else real quick. Marcus, I appreciate you jumping on, man. Hit me up privately and I'll help you out. Hit me up privately on Facebook or something. I can help you out if you ever need. But it got real quiet now.
Okay.
It seemed like it got quieter. No, we're good.
I walked into a different room.
Oh, okay. All right, we're good now. Okay. All right. Some people were just saying that they couldn't hear you because of the noise. All right, cool. So you got a full service boutique, and do you have a niche? Or are you pretty much anybody that'll pay? You're ready to hook up.
You know what? I honestly have been working any niche out there. I have recently decided that I think I need to focus on a couple niches. I was going to focus my mobile sites on restaurants and lead gen sites for service contractors, roofers. I've got a big store and drain company that I do that for. So, you know, if you want to do lead gen sites, since we just did reputation before, let's go for it.
You want me to I mean, I don't monetarily benefit from this. Jack doesn't monetarily benefit from this, but let me tell you an absolute gangbuster way to do lead gen for any kind of contractor. Well, I got a guy, I got a connection. If anybody wants to use him, that'll actually he posts. He's awesome at it. He'll actually post ads on Craigslist 3 times a day for roofers. I see them getting between 4 and 5 calls a day for most of these guys in any city in the United States. He only charges like 100.
I would love that.
189 bucks. I've seen people turn around and sell, you know, $20, $15, $20 leads off of it. I've seen people sell it for $500 a month. I've seen people do several different things. I personally know several roofers right now that are doing it, and they've told me, they're like, Sid, if it wasn't for Nick, we'd be out of business. It works gangbusters. But I like it because it's a done-for-you service. You know, it's not something I got to go home and start doing the work or building a website or doing anything like that. I like it because I can spend my time, you know, role-playing like I should, right?
So Sid, then, if you would,
Absolutely.
I can put the contact information inside the master area.
Yeah, his name's Nick Klimek. He's a Polish guy. He's a good friend of mine, actually. He used to post our cars in automotive. If somebody wants his information, just contact me on if it's okay, just contact me on Facebook. Just friend me on Facebook, and I'll give you his information.
Okay.
Yeah. But so Marcus, how many clients do you currently have right now?
I've got about 25.
Okay, good. And are most of them like good clients, or some of them just pain in the ass for what you're getting paid?
Oh, some more pain in the ass, no question about it. That's why, you know, I'm looking at doing more lead gen and these sites versus, you know, doing the dance and monkey for some of these crazy clients I have.
Okay. All right, and I'm just trying to get a feel where you're at. I think we all kind of, you know, how long have you been doing this?
This is my 7th year.
Okay. I know when I first started getting involved in digital and stuff like that, I even direct mail. I did a ton of direct mail. I would do direct mail for anybody, and then I kind of started realizing, you know, I gotta start doing a niche, and some of these people are more of a pain in the butt than it's worth. You know what I mean? So I kind of fired a bunch of clients, and that's when my business started really taking off, and I started doing way better. But do you want to role play with a certain niche on a certain product?
Yeah, let's do reverse and let's do lead gen.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. So you're the roofer. Hey, I'm Sid Michael with Spike Promotions. I've got I got a way to get you a ton of more opportunities to sell more roofs. Can you afford selling more roofs this next month, Marcus? Are you in a position you can?
Oh, we can definitely sell more
business. Are you in a position where you can handle more business?
Absolutely. We you know,
okay. All right. Well.
Yeah, if we could do you know, if we can get 20 or 30 more clients a month, that'd be great.
Okay. So how does 3 to 5 good qualified sales leads a day sound to you?
Well, that would be phenomenal. Our close ratio is about 40%, so that would work out well.
You got some hammers there, then, man. That's good. What is a roof worth? What is a roof worth to you, Marcus?
Bottom line profit, we're probably looking at about $5,000.
Okay. So if you're closing 40%, I can bring you an additional 3 to 5 calls a day. I mean, let's be conservative and cut that in half, and let's just say you can close an additional roof a day. I mean, what is that worth to you?
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Okay. Well, good news is my services can provide that, although I don't cost that. That's $100,000 a month, actually. So let's say we only do half of that. So now we cut it in half again. Let's say I only provide you with $50,000 a month in extra revenue. Can you budget yourself to spend $4,000 to $5,000 a month to generate the additional $50,000? Do you have that in your marketing budget?
Well, you know, we do a lot with direct mail and advertising. So, you know, currently right now I wouldn't have that budget, but you know, I can certainly see that how that would be working.
I didn't hear you, Marcus. Go again.
Well, right now we're doing a lot of print ads and direct mail pieces. So, you know, right now I don't have that extra in the budget, but I can definitely see how that would be worth spending to make
What
that
kind of
revenue.
response are you getting with your direct mail pieces?
We're getting about 1.5%, 2%.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with direct mail, and if you can get 2%, you're killing it. So that's good. You must have a good copy written. Now, I know direct mail is also pretty expensive. What are you spending a month on that?
Right now, we're spending about $3,000.
Oh, 3,000 on direct
Yeah,
mail?
that's $3,000 every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you give me half that budget if I could show you twice the results?
If you can show me twice the results and half the budget, yes, I think we could work something out.
Kind of a no-brainer. Okay. Well, I can go ahead and get you set up. This is what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and write several ads. I'm going to syndicate this ad over hundreds of web pages, and I'm going to start generating you some live calls. I'm going to actually track all the phone calls. You can go back and listen to them. They're all going to be recorded. And really my only question is, how quick do you want to get started? Is this something you can start next week?
Why don't you come to my office tomorrow morning? I'll write you a check.
Sounds good. And then I would set them up on Craigslist. I would hire Nick. You pay him $189. This guy's going to start posting ads 3 times a day. And in that area, you can also get him, for a certain, I don't know what he charges. So for a certain fee, he'll give you 2 areas. So, like, let's say you're in like right between, he can advertise like Pittsburgh and Morgantown, for instance. If you're like in the middle, he can hit you in 2 different metro markets like that, and really generate some extra leads for you. But you let them know. You don't say I'm posting on Craigslist because you devalue yourself. You say I have a way to post your ads on hundreds of web pages. You are posting it on web pages, and get them fired up and turned on. You can ask. You can ask Nick for any sort of like call reports. I've got car dealerships that I'm syndicating their inventory right now that we're showing almost 700 calls a month.
Wow.
Imagine that for lead gen.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
And
So
with these roofers and stuff, you can charge them per call, or you can just charge them a flat rate. Always make sure if you charge them a flat rate, let them know you normally do charge $20 per call. That way, when you charge them a $500 or $600 flat rate or a $1,000 flat rate, and he gets 100 calls, he's thinking he's getting over on you, right? Because you're not charging him as much. He's getting the flat rate, which is a better price than what he would have been paying per call. With car dealers, per call doesn't work, and here's why. They put a high-mile GS400 Lexus on there. I mean, they could get 300 calls on one car. And if you were charging them as little as $10 a lead, and they found out they paid, $3,000 for those leads on that car, they'd be pissed. So
They just lost the brand, yeah.
yeah, you can't do a pay-per call with them in that scenario. But for a roofer, heck yeah, man. And it's once again, it's an insurance that pays for it. So it's there's no such thing as like a cheap client or a bad client or anything, because they all have insurance, and insurance is the one that dictates what they pay, and that's who they're making those $3,000-$4,000 rips on these roofs. So, a guy that rents, I have an apartment in the front of my house. He owns K-Mac Roofing. I set him up on this. He said, Sid, straight up, I would be out of business if it wasn't for Nick's leads. It's completely fueling his entire business right now.
Does Nick do anything besides roofing, or roofing is just a specialty?
Roofing?
Yeah,
Yeah, he does. He'll do lead gen for anything. Now, we found that attorneys haven't worked that well. Roofing's worked gangbusters. Automotive dealer inventory's done kick-ass. He does wheels and tires for one guy. He does a lot of stuff, but he'll tell you, he's straight up. He's like, listen, that won't work. This will work. That'll work. He knows what works. He's doing some forklifts right now. It's been working pretty good. It works,
Nice.
So if you got other clients in mind, just run them by him. He'll tell you if he can generate you some calls with them.
Absolutely. Like one last question. If I don't have existing roofing clients and I want to go after that niche, and someone says, well, hey, what other roofing clients have you done this for? How would you respond to that?
I can do you one better. I can give you a call report. I mean, let's be honest. References are only as good as the person you're talking to. I like to see hardcore evidence, and I'll give you call reports. And Nick will have call reports for my roofer, and you just show that to him.
Okay.
Right?
So Nick uses his own tracking numbers, is that correct?
Yes. I would call it anything and everything I would do, I would call track. Because life and all this that we do is really not about like website impressions and visitors anymore. It's all about conversions. And you got to show those phone conversions.
So, and another advantage of call tracking is that you can redirect the call to any client you want. So you're always in control.
Yep.
So,
Sid,
let do also Ken the role play.
Yeah. All right, Marcus, I appreciate it, man. I'm sorry, everybody, that was loud, but whatever. Marcus, be good, man. Have some Genos for me.
Yep. Thanks,
right,
Sid.
Yeah, man.
I will.
Ken Albrecht, if I'm saying that correctly, please correct me if I'm not. Ken, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, Sid?
How you doing, Bob? Did I pronounce your last name right? Albrecht?
Albrecht?
Albrecht. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I hate mispronouncing names. How you doing, Ken?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Big D, Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas. Good business in Texas.
Yes.
I did a bunch of direct mail for Grand Prairie Ford there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
It did really well, and then I did some super sales down in San Marcos, Austin. To me, I think I love Austin. I think that's probably one of the coolest cities in the country. So, if you haven't been, you need to go. That's a great place, especially if you love live music.
I know. Yeah, I hadn't. Well, I was down in Austin about 2 years ago. So yeah, my sister lives not too far from there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Tell me what your niche is and what your service is.
I have right now. I only have 4 clients. I do have more. I kind of do lead gen, but with the Savage method, I plan on targeting personal injury attorneys.
Okay.
So
It
I'm going
works.
to do that and cosmetic surgery. Yeah. I used to be a paralegal quite a few years ago, so I know a little bit about the legal arena.
That's good. You can talk the lingo. That'll definitely help. And
Yes.
you know what those guys
Yes.
are looking for.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So, yeah, that's like I say, I've got I've got 4, like I say, 4 clients right now, and I've got about 6 more sites that are going online. So
You know what's not a very competitive area that you can absolutely dominate for some of these personal injury attorneys is dog bites.
Oh, huh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a personal injury attorney here in Atlanta, and they're worth about $300,000 a case, which is similar to
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's covered under home insurance. They're good money. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't like to feel like they're being mean to a doggy, but the dog did just bite somebody's face off. So,
Yeah.
But and it's easy. It's not as a competitive of a side of market, but anyways, that's just a little nugget or tidbit you can use.
Yeah, thank you.
What's your service? You say mainly lead gen?
I do a variety of things. I do search. I do back end. Kind of with the email system. I can do reputation. I'm pretty skilled. I actually started doing this about 4 years ago, simply because I have my own company, stone restoration company. So I kind of learned out of necessity.
That's funny. That's how a lot of people. Get involved. I did it for myself, and then realized I could do it for other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. All right. So, what So the Savage Siphon will work gangbusters with personal injury attorneys. So get excited.
I am.
And,
I am.
is there something you wanted to role play or anything that you wanted to, like a certain niche of product? And
Yeah. Let's see. Well, you know, you just did roofing, so why don't we do? You want to do the turning niche, or we could do?
hang on a second. I think Marcus didn't remember something. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. All right.
Okay.
Thought we were back in the cafeteria again. All right. Isn't that what it sounded like? The cafeteria, right? All right. So you said let's do. What would you say again? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, we could do attorney, PI.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And what do we want to sell them?
Why don't we sell them search?
Okay. All right. So, hey Ken, how you doing? My name's Sid Michael. I'm with Spike Promotions. I see that you're doing some a lot of personal injury stuff. Have you been doing pretty good in business, Ken?
We're fairly successful. I think we could always be better.
What's your ideal client? Who is it that's your ideal client you look for?
Well, you know, we're car accidents are always usually a high ticket thing. So anything to do with transportation, we do target a lot of that.
Okay. So if I was going to walk in the perfect client, if you could have 10 of the perfect clients and I could walk one in, what would be the scenario or situation that you're looking for?
Well, I'd say that, that they received some pretty serious injuries in some type of a vehicle
Car
accident. Yeah, yeah.
And
that would be
and what would be like something somebody would search on Google to get that? Would they be looking for like car accident attorney, or what would be
that's a very common search term. Yes.
Okay. And I'm sure that's super highly competitive, but knowing that if I could get you on the first page of Google would probably completely change your business, huh?
It would. Right now well, depending on what week and what have you, we're at the bottom of page 1. Sometimes we're on page 2, but typically at the bottom of page 1.
Well, you know what they say, if you ever want to hide a dead body, you put it on page 2.
Yeah. Not too many people go there.
Yeah, and I know being on page 1 is you get some recognition, but it significantly increases as you get to the top. The #1 spot in Google generally gets about 46% of the business.
Okay.
So to really push on some certain key terms would probably be ideal for you in doing that. Now, have you thought about doing any kind of SEO? I can guarantee better results. I would be lying to you if I told you exact results.
Okay.
And
The
that's just
top
being
4?
up. What's that?
I say, do you think we could be placed in the top 4?
I personally have certain ways that I can get you up towards 4th in 90 days. I can get you better than 4th, maybe not necessarily within 90 days, but soon after. Here's what I think works best in guys that have been mistreated or abused with flunkies, is what I like to call them.
Right.
My services for an attorney such as yourself are normally about $4,500 a month. But let's set it up this way. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm just going to get you set up and started. I will charge you $29.95 with the agreement that once I get you better than 4th, we go to full bill.
Okay.
Which is
And
$4,500.
how many search terms would that be for?
3.
3 search terms? Okay. Okay. And how about, would you look at our website and see with that as far as conversions go?
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, if your website's not done right, there's nothing I can do to make you
Right.
come
Exactly.
out right. So we got to do a complete strategy on that, and that's something that I can do in the next 72 hours, and maybe we can meet back Monday.
Sure.
and I can give you a better idea of exactly what I can do, and if your website approves, because it might not. And if it doesn't, I'm
Yeah.
going to go ahead and tell you we're wasting our time and going to be throwing a lot of money out the window trying to make it work. But the good news is I know ways to rewrite the content and ways to reorganize it to where we can give you an excellent chance.
Yeah, I'd like a fresh set of eyes to look at it and just get a different opinion on it. That'd be good.
That's awesome. And that's what I do.
Would there be an additional charge to? Would there be an additional charge for doing that to the website?
If no, normally I charge $4.95 to do a consultation on the website, but I'm going to waive that. I mean, it sounds like we both got the same goals in place here, and that's to get you in a better position on Google. So I'm going to waive that. If I find that there's going to be a ton of work, it's not going to be something I can do pretty simple. If there's going to be a ton of work, we can talk about pricing then. But any kind of any kind of simple quick fixes, and a lot of it is simple and quick, I'll be able to just fix for you right out of the bat, and that'll be included into the services.
Okay. Is there any type of setup fee or anything?
I personally don't charge setup fees unless I have a hardcore fixed cost start setting it up. I don't charge a setup fee, but to me, setup fee is 100% profit, and I'm not here to try and gouge you on a setup fee to get started. I want to prove myself and ultimately get to that 4,500 that we talked about in the end.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds very appealing. I mean, that's like I say, we've had some pretty good slick salespeople come in here and promise this, but I like what you had to say, and would be willing to take the chance.
Okay, awesome. All right. So I've never sold search to an attorney, but obviously that would be somewhat of the general idea. You can always get better, but maybe it helps you out a little bit there. But
it did.
Great. The bogey thing works for people that have been ran over by people in the back. In the past, go, well, I got an idea. How about this? And I'll put my money where my mouth is. Brian did that with a dealership in South Florida, and he's getting $10,000 a month right now. He started out at $4,500 a month, but as he started, delivering results and reputation and search, he kept getting bumped up bogey bonuses, and then now they've given him parts and several other websites, and he's up to over $10,000 a month reoccurring off of one Toyota store. They might not have hired him if he wouldn't have put his money where his mouth was, right? And let's be honest, when as a business owner or as anything, as even you buying the Savage Siphon, right? You're not asking, you would have paid $100. What you're really asking for is what you say. I just want it to do what you say it's going to do. That's really what people are buying, right? Nothing irks somebody than to pay somebody a certain amount of money, whether it's $10 or $20, and it not do what they said, right? They want to give the football to the guy that scores a touchdown. They're tired of passing the football and somebody dropping it, right? So sometimes when you do the bogey kind of, put your money where your mouth is, that makes it a lot easier.
So can you specify
what's going on, man?
Can you specify what a bogey deal is more in,
Yeah, a bogey deal is where you give them a price up front, and then go to full bill after you prove your results. Now, honestly, when I do a bogey deal, I price the price sometimes what I would have charged anyway, and then deliver with the results at an even higher price, right? So if you normally charge $3,000, say, how about I do this? How about I do it for $2,500, and then when I hit results, I do it for, $3,500. You know what I mean?
So you started off with telling $3,000 or so, and then you give discount, and then you charge more.
Right.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, what it does, it entices them with the low amount and the fact that they feel like they don't have to pay you all the money that your services require until you prove yourself. Because they've been burnt by 2 or 3 guys that they've paid whatever to that delivered nothing. And you're going to see a lot of that.
So a bogey deal is you give discount for a certain time of period, and then you charge more, even more than you would normally charge, because you have yourself proven.
Yeah. You go to full bill, or maybe a full bill plus 10% or so. You know, you get a little extra. I mean, think about it. Even, you know, I don't know if anybody's ever bought advertising before, but if somebody said, listen, if it doesn't bring you this, you don't have to pay me full price. I like that guy, right? And when you do bring me what you
Yeah.
said you're going to bring me, then
So,
I'm glad to pay.
so your pricing, I think that is also a thing what you need to understand. The pricing is not based on the effort you put in it. The pricing is based on what the company is gaining from it. So
Correct.
if this your niche is gaining $10,000, it is fair to ask 2,500. If the business is gaining $1,000, you charge lesser because it doesn't make sense to charge 2,500. So in selecting your niche, you want to make sure that there is enough meat for you and the company. That is why
Right.
flowers doesn't work so good, but attorneys, roofers, AC repair, car dealers, they work because their average price is high and they have a certain amount of customers each week, so they have a lot of money to spend on marketing. And if you can help them with 10% more customers, that is a significant increase for them, and also you can get a piece of the pie of that. And once you get specialized in a certain service like text marketing, SEO, reputation, mobile marketing, you should be able to achieve that 10%. Or even better, if you know a third-party service who is doing the work for you for a certain amount of money, and you charge the company 5 times as much, then you just sign up new clients, and somebody else is doing the work for you. So that is eventually you want to achieve. So I'm not saying that I'm there. You know, I do also work by myself. I have my software coders, but eventually that is the system you want to achieve.
I agree. All right, let's look at some questions and see what else we can.
So this is the moment to put some question in. So you guys answer some question during the role plays, and some I answered. And we want to finish this training, but now's the time if you have some question in your mind.
I'm just reading through some of the questions real quick, see if I.
Yeah, I understand.
Really?
I read them, which I could answer. I assume you can see them too, which I answered.
Some people are asking, how does the insurance with roofing? If there's wind damage or hail damage, and there's a certain criteria that the insurance adjusters look for, insurance will replace a roof for free, and they give them like a certain par price, which is like $220 a square. Is the way they measure roofing. So, anyways, that's how you do it. So you call the insurance company, you get the insurance adjuster out there. If they approve the roof, they'll buy a new roof. Then you sign a contract with the roofer, and that's how you get it done. So hopefully that helps with anybody considering roofing. Let's see. How does all this tie in with Lead Finder or Lead Tracker? You want to, I mean, I can just straight up tell you, whether I was on the call with Jack or not, if you're doing any service, you want to track it. You want to be in control of tracking it. If it's an option between you paying for the tracking or them paying for it, you pay for it. You put it on your track. One, it allows you to show what you choose to show that you've tracked. And then two, how can you ever get better if you're not tracking your results? You need to track everything. Yeah, Brian, if you would just friend me on Facebook, and I'll get you the information from Nick if that's something that would help you. Ken, I've not changed the colors of the ink or the paper. All right, here we go. Everybody wants a secret little extra push for the Savage Siphon. I did just speak with a gentleman that's been doing it in my coaching group for 3 months now, and he put a Post-it note with a handwritten "call me" and his cell number just on a Post-it note, and he said he got better results. So that does help a little bit. Just to give you some insight. And you know, think about it. Like, think about the process of sales and generating new clients is all about building rapport and getting in somebody's bubble, right? And anytime you can get somebody's first name, or you can do something personalized like a handwritten note, that's only going to help you build additional rapport, tear down the walls, and get inside their bubble. So that's always a positive. So. All right.
Who has already gone through the material, to the service material? Who has read the PDF?
What was the
And
question again, Jeff?
Oh, who's already have gone through the material, the PDF and the sales letters? Who has read them? Who has taken action? Nobody yet?
I'm sure anybody that bought the letters.
I have not yet, but bought it
Nancy,
last night.
read the letters. The letters are awesome. Okay,
Mine
good.
go out Monday. Oh, Ken, you are brilliant. Let me know your result, Ken.
Brian, go ahead and order your stuff, because it does take 7 to 10 days for that crap to get here. It comes all the way from Washington State. Nice. Is it too late to order the Savage Siphon? I don't know how you'd be on here if you didn't have it, but it closed last night at midnight, but rumor has it the link still works.
Yeah, my masterclass, I invited them also to the webinar. So.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
If you didn't order it,
Throw your link in there real quick.
.com, and then I think it was sit. On this website, there's the link. I don't know this was the link. 1 second.
You can go to JV Zoo and just get your link off there. Just put the raw link in if you have to.
I know. On this page, there's the link. So, and there are some more bonuses on it. So, I haven't been too busy to implement it, to be honest, with all the promotion, but I'm going to. And I'm still doubting which niche I'm going to after, because my wife has a local business, and I'm thinking to help her with it.
What's her local business?
We sell lab testing, clinical lab testing, drug testing, DNA testing, and STD testing.
Oh, yeah.
So for drug testing, for could work. So that so all the car dealers need employees have drug tested, or AC roofers, you know. So something I'm thinking on that. So maybe we can share brainstorm in Orlando about it. So if that would work, that would help my wife a lot.
Yeah.
And
you want to know something the Savage method works extremely well with?
yeah, of course we want to know.
Resumes. If you're going for
A job.
Use it with your resume.
So
Not that anybody's trying to get a full-time job, but if you were, or if you knew somebody was, or you want to help your son stand apart, I mean, I've looked at thousands of resumes in my life. It has let's be honest, it has nothing to do with what's written on the resume because they all look the same. I mean, the only thing you notice is if somebody says something Harvard or Ivy League occasionally, you might reread it again. But you want to stand apart and get somebody noticed into getting a job, send that sucker in a bank bag. Send your resume in a bank bag and let them know you fill those up for them. See if you don't get a call back pretty quick.
So the first mail, correct? On not the 5 mailing, but the first one, or
I mean, you can go through the complete process if you didn't like it, but I guarantee you'll get enough callbacks the first bank bag mailing with your resume. You probably won't have to go to the conference.
But I think it depends a little bit for which position you go. Huh? But if you, as a salesperson, you would get a job.
Especially in sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, I like your tip, but I hope I never need it.
Yeah, I agree. Me neither.
So,
I imagine never working with somebody again.
Actually, yeah, my kids probably need it, so I will not forget it. But I started to work for myself since 2009, so I'm not looking to go back. So I had a great time, and if I ever have to go back, that's not a big problem. But that is, I feel I didn't achieve what I wanted. So, and at this point, I don't need to go back.
I'm Sid Michael in Flowery Branch or Atlanta, Georgia. If for those of you that didn't know, and it is SYD. All right, so to respect everybody's time, we keep this under an hour and a half. One thing I like to tell everybody before I finish any sort of sales type webinar or helping on role playing and stuff, and maybe some of you have seen this on my other webinars, but I always want people to ask themselves, are you a wolf or a sheep? It's okay if you're a sheep. It's okay if you're a wolf. There's not a bad answer, but you can find yourself sometimes being a sheep and kind of falling into the crowd. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be afraid to stand out there alone and do things the way that you're going to do it and be an individual. Don't be afraid to offend people, and don't be afraid of criticism, because with criticism comes haters, and when you get haters, you're doing something right. You know what I mean? You got to stand apart. This is a world of being a wolf, man. I just want everybody to wake up and be a wolf tomorrow. So 80% of life is showing up. Got to take action. If you've not already ordered your products, if you've not already ordered your products, your big bags and stuff, you need to. I get bombed on this email, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in here in case you guys need me here. If you need Nick's information, there you go. My email is sidmichael@rocketmail.com, or friend me on Facebook. I'm the Sid in Georgia, Flowery Branch or Atlanta. I'll get you Nick's information or whatever and get you on the right path. Honestly, if I didn't have any service that I was selling right now, I would go out and sell the heck out of roofers and close them on this Craigslist. I would get Nick to do the Craigslist. One, it's not taking any requirement behind you to actually start processing the orders. You're not having to go out and learn how to do search or reputation. It's something you can make revenue immediately, and it works. And I would track everything. You track it all. If you're not tracking, you don't know if you're doing better. You don't know what you're doing. You don't have proof that what you're doing is working, right? So track everything.
With Lead Tracker Jack, you can listen to the replays. You can run reports. You can even charge the client for a certain amount, so you are in control.
Greg, we're going to be in Orlando until Sunday, so if you get any sort of time, if you're close, get close. Oh, I see Monique, you live in Atlanta also? No, I've not done them to car dealers in Atlanta, Monique. You don't have to, don't worry about that. I live on the northeast side, and I can't tell. I mean, I can pretty much tell you every single general manager and every single dealership here. A lot of people are like, "Oh man, you must really have sold all your friends." And to be honest, friends are the last people I want to sell. One, you never make enough money, and two, they kind of hold you they kind of, all of a sudden you got that guy as your boss. And last thing I want is my buddies as my bosses. It's hard. Plus, when you get out of the car business, they want you to die. They don't want you to succeed. So it's hard to do it. They do. They want you to curl up like a roach on your back and die.
So your colleagues are jealous on you, how you have succeeded, not being to work at the dealership anymore?
They always are, man. When they're sitting there working 6-7 days a week, 10, 12, sometimes 13-hour days, and you're riding by on your, with your cut-off sleeve shirt and your Harley.
And then and they making $1,000 a month,
at the front on the back of it with you,
and you have 10 clients with pay you $1,000 a week.
Yeah, they don't like that. So, Virginia Beach, very cool town. You know what niche there's a ton of money in? I've never seen anybody really go after it, but I'm really ready to watch somebody is campaigns. When I know in direct mail when like election time comes up, you can't even get a mailer out through my mail house. They're so busy with that stuff. It's huge, and those guys got massive budgets.
Campaigns.
And I'm telling you right now, social is going to be huge with campaigns coming up.
What do you mean with campaigns? I'm lost.
Like somebody who's like elections, like election campaigns. When elections coming up.
Oh,
like, whether it's government or senator or.
Oh, you mean politic campaigns?
County commissioner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have massive budgets, and obviously, like with a city commissioner, that a lot of these builders and stuff just fund their campaigns like crazy. So you show yourself effective, and with a couple campaigns, it's you write your own check the next 4 years.
Do you know that I got a phone call from Obama about a year ago? It was not a live phone call, but it was a marketing phone call, huh? So that was.
Yeah, well, he used Facebook. It's known that he used Facebook, but he only used it at a certain level. I'm telling you, in the next 4 years, I mean, and unobtainable. I'm not telling everybody can go get the president's campaign money, but you work with like city commissioners or senators or even congressmen or something like that. It's a no-brainer. So, BJ Ocampo, there's my buddy, man. Yeah, he did. He hung up on Obama right away. He was like, I don't need to talk to you today.
It's just an example, okay?
Yeah. All right. So
Okay.
To respect everybody's time, that's 1 hour and 33 minutes, Jack. I hope
Yeah.
I hope that helped everybody. And if you need anything, just don't be afraid to reach out and ask me or Jack or myself.
So let me put my support ticket in it in case you haven't.
Yeah.
And I'm in the next 3 days I'm in Orlando, so I'm not that responsive, but I see Sid for sure. So if you have a question which you want to ask Sid, you can contact me too, and see if we can make you successful. So that is all what it's about, because we want you to succeed. If you succeed, we are happy, and then we succeed too.
Very nice. It says, what makes locksmiths and tow trucks so profitable as a niche? Never done any locksmiths or tow trucks. Tow trucks for SEO would probably be huge, because when you need a tow or even locksmiths, I would think SEO would be big for them. And
pay-per-click work really good for locksmith.
Yeah, pay-per-click.
And
that'd be great.
And locksmith and towing.
All right, Jack.
Okay.
I appreciate you, man. I'll see you tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, buddy. Yes, sir. Thank you.